calories in, calories out, eat less, move more, the law of thermodynamics, and all the other buzzwords that you hear trying to make fat loss seem so simple. Well, they all count, they all matter, but they have all been madly misunderstood. But I got you. By the end of this short video, you are going to have gained some serious insight on counting calories, where it gets messed up, and what to do about it. But first, hit that like and subscribe button. It truly helps us help more people. First, let's address the calories in portion of this because it is the most obvious and is the easiest one for us to control. Now, my calories in, calories out ride or diers are going to say it doesn't matter. A calorie is a calorie and that's it. Just eat the right amount of calories and be in a calorie deficit and you're going to lose all the weight you want. Well, that might not exactly be the case. Let's take this orange. It has about 80 calories. Same as this glass of orange juice. However, just because of the beautiful partnership between soluble and insoluble fiber in here, there's about 25 calories in this one that you can extract the energy from. Unlike this, you will get all 80 calories, making a calorie is a calorie an oversimplification. It would be like you asking me directions for where we're going to meet for lunch. And I say, hey, that's easy. It's 2 rights and a left. Then I sit at the table, tapping my foot, wondering why you're late. Now let's hit on those hormonal differences between these two 80-calorie foods. This one, again, because of the beautiful partnership between soluble and insoluble fiber, it's gonna take it about an hour to work through your digestive system. And it's gonna feed your microbiome along the way. It is gonna keep your insulin levels pretty stable, and it is gonna use nearly all of its calories just in digesting it. This guy here, and not just juice, most processed foods, even the ones that we consider healthy, cause a flood of insulin to deal with the rapid and intense blood sugar spike that you get from these foods. That spike also shuts down fat burning. So the sudden flood of insulin is still present even when most of the glucose has already been stored. And here's where it gets interesting, because now you are left with low glucose levels or low blood sugar. And you've just experienced the proverbial sugar spike and crash. Now your body has a perceived energy deficit. So it is going to turn on fat storing hormones to preserve energy and is going to increase your hunger hormones so that you're bringing in more energy and not having to use anything stored. Now, how long will we be preserving energy? Who knows? It depends on a lot of other hormonal factors that are not for this video. So hopefully you're beginning to see that 80 calories of one food can be very different than 80 calories of another food. Different in how much of those calories are actually available for our use, different in how they affect us hormonally, and different in how our body digests them and the energy it takes to digest them. Which brings us to the thermic effect of food, which plays only about a 10% role in your overall metabolic rate, but it's a very manipulable one. And the thermic effect of food is literally the energy it takes from that food for you to digest it. And your 3 macronutrients, your protein, your carbs, and your fats, all are digested very differently, so they have very different thermic effects. Protein takes about 30 to 35% of its energy just in digestion. Carbohydrates take about 10 to 15% of their energy, and fats take only about 0 to 3%. Of course, all of this depends on the quality of the food that you're eating, as we saw with the oranges and the orange juice. And these facts are typically left out when we are only focusing on counting calories. So let's go a little deeper into your calories out, because in my opinion, this is the most difficult part of the equation. We can see what's coming in. We can read a label, we can go online and see how many calories are in a specific food, and then we can adjust with the quality of that food, where it's gonna land and if we want to actually eat it. However, we cannot see our calories going out. We can assume that we are, but we have no idea actually how many calories are going out. Now, we have already covered your thermic effect of food, which is about 10% of your daily energy expenditure, but there are 3 more pieces involved in that total daily energy expenditure. And next up is your basal metabolic rate, your BMR, which is basically all the calories you burn every single day just to stay alive, whether you get out of bed or not. And that makes up a whopping 70% of your daily energy. Some things that influence your basal metabolic rate are like your age, your body size. So like the bigger you are, the more energy you need, and the smaller you are, the less energy you need. Also, your gender, hormonal factors, but the best part is your muscle mass. Muscle mass plays a huge role in your basal metabolic rate. Now, obviously, there are lots of things about this basal metabolic rate that we cannot control. So we're just gonna stick to the ones that we can. I wish we could get younger, but we cannot. So the best thing for us to do to increase our basal metabolic rate and burn more calories every day, even if we don't get out of bed, is to increase your muscle mass and maintain your muscle mass. And this is done through resistance training or other exercise that forces your body to build muscle. And also, we can take steps to maintaining our hormonal balance. And sometimes that can be more difficult than others, and also for another video, but when we pay attention to at least the factors that affect our hormones with the food we eat, the energy we spend, even the amount of sleep we have, and the stress we hold, these can play big roles in our basal metabolic rate. So the next kind of factor in your daily calorie burn is what is called NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, every single thing you do all day long that is not included in your exercise. So like the job you do, cleaning the house, going for a walk, fidgeting. I am definitely a fidgeter, but the interesting thing about this one is that it is easy to see that the more active we are, the more calories we're gonna burn. However, this one can be negatively impacted by a lot of factors. One of them being that sugar crash when it comes from certain foods. Also, what I call front-loading exercise. So we are doing too much high-intensity exercise in the morning, making your evening look like I just want to get through dinner so I can go sit on the sofa and turn on my Netflix. Also, things like low-calorie dieting. Although you're going to lose weight in the beginning, your body is going to begin to adapt, and once it does, it will start to preserve energy. All of these things and anything else that causes your body to preserve energy by giving you low energy, lack of motivation, and just honestly wanting to sit down or take a nap, you can feel all these things, and this is the negative impact on your NEAT. So try to figure out in your world where this is happening, and you can do that by tracking your steps. You will know if you have a lot of energy and motivation in the morning, and then most of your steps are done by like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There's something in there causing your body to preserve energy later in the day. All right, the last part today is going to be our exercise, and this is a big one, even though it is only 5% of our daily calorie usage. And this, though, is where things get really boogered up. We are constantly thinking we are burning way more calories than we are, which in turn makes us think we can eat more calories than we should. Check this out. If you look up online right now, how many calories does you burn running 2 miles? Well, you're going to get an answer depending on your age, your weight, your gender, the speed of your run, and that's going to tell you about how many calories you should be burning. However, what it does not tell you is the amount of adaptation you have to an exercise. The more you do an exercise, the more adapted you become at it. Your body becomes efficient with it. It is not trying to use extra energy. It has to be this way. This is how we stay alive. So you can see it is very easy to grossly overestimate the amount of calories we burn during a workout, which totally throws off our calories out in our daily calorie counting. So the best thing that we can do with exercise is change our intention from burning calories during the exercise session to building and maintaining muscle mass and keeping our heart healthy. These will actually increase our basal metabolic rate with our exercise. And I am certainly not suggesting that you exercise any less or any less intently. Just make sure your focus is the most beneficial for your overall metabolic rate. I know this is a lot, so do this. Take 1 week, track everything, what and how much you're eating, track your exercise, track your steps, track your energy levels throughout the day. This is going to give you a really good starting point. You're going to be able to tell about how many calories you're bringing in. Most importantly, you're going to be able to tell about how many calories you're putting out, and you will be able to see a pattern of any inefficiencies in between. And of course, we are always here to help with this. So I have put a link in the description for you to be able to get a free call with us. And once again, thank you so much for sticking around. I will see you next time. Bye.